Hi, everyone, and welcome to the podcast about senior graduation projects. I know the first thing you're probably thinking is, why do we have to do this, right? You've probably been told about this for 4 years now, and none of the times you've been told does it sound fun or awesome. So I totally understand. You're probably not that excited about it, but let's look at some of the reasons why we do these, okay? First and foremost, the first reason why we do these, they are state mandated. The state tells us we have to do it. It is a graduation requirement. For you to finish high school and graduate, you must complete this project. It's very important. But beyond that reason, there are many reasons that I've found in my experience of why this is important and why students actually, in the end, appreciate having to do the project. First is it allows you to connect your interests and your hobbies and your future plans with school. Maybe you're interested in something that's never covered or never fully explored in the normal curriculum of school. So this is your opportunity to bring that about, bring that into the classroom, and show off your abilities, or to explore a career interest um, for yourself. Okay, it's a chance for you to give back to the community, right? It really almost requires you to give back. So I think that way it's helpful for students. It helps you to connect to contacts in the community. I can't tell you how many times I've seen students all be offered jobs after completing this project with their mentor and with the people they've worked with. It allows you to get to connect with people in your community that are interested in the same things as you. Might you might find friends, you might find future employers through this project. It gives you real world experience. I can't tell you how many students I've seen who have either fallen in love with their senior project and that topic and they've made it a career, or they've figured out that what they thought was a career for them through the senior project gave them insights and they realized that they do not want to do this for their life. So it's a good opportunity. It's kind of like a free practice with some of these with your topic. And it also helps you to learn more about your interests, your hobby, or your future. So the first thing you have to do for your senior graduation project is to figure out if you want to do an interest-based senior project, career-based, hobby-based, or service-based. Those four choices. So let's look at some possibilities for those four different categories. So you could choose to do something that's just simply an interest of yours. It's not related to a future career, and it's also not a hobby. It's just simply a topic of interest to you. Maybe it's some examples I give here, or maybe that you're really interested in reading. Maybe you love science. Maybe you love biography. So those are three examples of an interest that you could take, something that you are personally interested in, and how you could turn into a senior project. Career, maybe it's something you want to go into. It could be welding or teaching or medicine. It could be a hobby like quilting, writing, or scrapbooking, something you're interested in, something you like to do, but you're not planning to do this for money or a future career. Or it could be simply service towards others if you want. You could tutor um, other kids in school. You could volunteer at a local rest home or elderly care, a hospice home, or you could do a project about donating to a cause that's near and dear to your heart. Those are just not. Those are just 12 ideas that that just come off the top of my head of the four different categories of interest, right? So, or ideas for your project: interest, career, hobby, or service. So once you've picked your topic, you're going to first do some research on that topic. You're going to want to learn more about it, right? So you understand your topic more fully by reading and researching about it. So you would read books, you would read internet articles, journals for more ideas. Then you would collect your ideas into a works cited page with a minimum of five sources. And then you're going to synthesize and present your findings in a 5-page research paper. Now, some of the things that you can do for your research paper, because a lot of people feel a little lost on how to write a research paper, right? So these are just different bullet points that you could possibly include. You do not have to do these different bullet points, okay? These are not the required bullet points. There are no such thing. These are ideas of what you could write about in your research paper. So you could simply do the history of the topic, right? Where did this topic begin? How long have people been doing this? How has this topic changed over time, right? You could describe what this topic um, does in today's world, how it is now different than it used to be, and how it's important in the world today. You can talk about in your research paper why you're interested in this topic, why you chose this, what specific or personal reasons led you to this choice. You could outline in your research paper your plan for what you'd like to do in your project. Okay? You can plan and tell in full detail what you are hoping to do with your project. You can also talk about in your research paper what you plan to do to serve the community with your project. You can outline your plan to help others. You talk about why your topic is important to the world today. And you could share any information as a source. You could use your mentor as a source for information in your research paper. Now, talking about the mentor, with this project, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find a local expert in your topic, someone who's qualified and knows a lot about your topic. If you're going into a career, that's an obvious choice. You would choose someone that's already in that career. If it's a hobby or an interest, you would find someone who's qualified, someone who has experience with that. What you do is you're going to use the document that's listed below, called the mentor agreement. You're going to take that mentor agreement document to them. You're going to talk to them about what you plan to do for your senior project. They're going to agree with it if they choose. They're going to simply sign the paperwork saying they'll be your mentor. You then complete 15 hours under their guidance. It does not have to be with them specifically, but under their guidance. Maybe they tell you to go and do something for a few hours, or this week they tell you to do something this week, and then when you come back to see them, you tell them what you did, and they sign off on all of your hours. They are your one and only proof that you completed the 15 hours of service, okay, or work. So you need to find someone who is qualified to be an expert on this. Um, the limitations on who can be your mentor. Anyone can be your mentor except for your immediate family, which means your mother, father, brother, or sister. We would hope that it's someone outside of your family completely. Only in special circumstances will we allow family members to be your mentors, because really the project is trying to get you to step out and meet someone new, meet someone that's not in your family. The only exceptions would be for highly qualified individuals. Let's say your senior project is on astrophysics. If your uncle works for NASA, we would most likely allow him to be your mentor because he's highly qualified, and it would be very, very difficult to find anyone else in Surrey County who is an expert on astrophysics. So, only in certain circumstances will we allow it. You'll need to get that approved before setting that up with your mentor, okay? So, find an expert. They're going to complete and sign off on all your paperwork, including the mentor agreement and your time logs. And then you're going to complete your hours with the consultation of your mentor, not necessarily directly with them, but under their guidance and leadership. You're going to complete a minimum of 15 hours on your project. Now, you're thinking, what counts for my mentor, for my hours, right? So, anytime you are assisting your mentor in doing something, those hours count. Sitting and learning from your mentor, them showing you or teaching you something, counts. Helping others in your community, whether it be at an event that you put on, or simply volunteering somewhere, that counts. Preparing to help others, maybe or setting up for an event. Maybe you're putting on an event that will benefit your community. Anytime that you use in setting up or preparing for that event, count for hours. So maybe it takes you 30 minutes to make the posters and the flyers for that event. That counts. Anytime setup time or preparation time counts. And of course, cleaning up after the event also counts as well. The two important things that do not count, and really the only two that I can think of that do not count for your hours, are writing or researching your research paper, those hours do not count. And also the other thing that doesn't count is preparing your presentation for this project, okay? The presentation that you have to do at the end, okay? Those hours do not count. Everything else does. All right, so now you're done with your 15 hours. You've completed your paperwork. So you're done, right? There's one more thing that you need to do. One more thing you need to do. You have to do a formal presentation, okay, to show off how much you've accomplished this semester with your project. There's going to be an opportunity for you to present your findings to an expert panel of judges, okay? At these presentations, you're going to present the entirety of your project. You're going to tell the full story of your presentation, of your project, in a multimedia presentation. I'm going to explain both of those in just a second. So, what is in your presentation? These are some of the really important bullet points. You could think of them as the different slides in your presentation. You can need, of course, your title and the name and your name, why you chose this topic, information about your research project and your mentor, basically an overview of what you did for your project. Show it off, explain and celebrate the great things that you've done. You need to describe how you gave back to the community, what your future plans are with this topic, how has this influenced you for the future, what skills have you learned that will transfer no matter what you do in life. I'd also like you to make sure in your presentation that you thank everyone that's helped you. So make sure you specifically thank your mentor, any teachers that helped you, if your parents have helped you, any family members or friends that have helped you. Make sure you thank people. That's an important aspect of the project. And also make sure at the end of your presentation that you have a slide or have explicitly told us that we can ask questions at the time, because every presentation will have questions, time for questions at the end. So make sure that's part of your project. Okay, so those are the important things that you need. And then also make sure that your presentation is what we call multimedia. Okay, multimedia basically means that you need 2 forms of media in your presentation. If you only have one, it doesn't count. You will fail the presentations. Okay, so make sure you have 2 forms of media. Now, here's all the different kinds of media that you could have. You need a PowerPoint, right? You could choose to have a PowerPoint. Let me go back. You don't need a PowerPoint. This is just one form of media that you could have during your presentation. It's the most popular because most people are comfortable with it, but you don't. That's just one option for you. So you need a PowerPoint. You could have an Animoto video that you created, an original. You could make a poster or a collage of pictures. You could, if it relates to your project, you could create some kind of website or online, a blog, something online that you could show during your presentation. You could have a physical example of your product. Maybe you're fixing a car. You'd have the car there at the presentation. Maybe you're writing a book. You would have the actual novel. Maybe you're painting a picture. You'd have the painting there. You could make a poster. You could, instead of PowerPoint, you could use Prezi as a presentation medium. You can make an original movie through using Movie Maker or iMovie. You could have a physical demonstration, right? Maybe you taught a dance class and you learned how to play the guitar. You could actually demonstrate the dance for us, or you could play the guitar there, right? So you could physically demonstrate the skill. And there's a lot of other ways that you could present your findings. These are some of the main forms of media that you need to have too, okay? The most common, most people do, is they will have a PowerPoint and they'll embed an Animoto video of pictures throughout their project. You can do that. It's very, excuse me, it's very easy. It's very simple. It's what most people do. But if you want to go above and beyond, there's other ideas and there's other things that you can do. Okay, talk to me if you have specific questions. So lastly, when you're done with all this, how will you actually present it? There's 2 options for you. Okay, you can contact your English 4 teacher at your own school if you feel more comfortable with that. I would personally prefer you do that. Contact them. All the schools have specific days that they do these secret graduation projects. Okay, so you need to contact them in advance. Ask them what day they're going to be presenting, and request that you be assigned a time and a date and have a panel. Okay, so if you'll contact your English 4 teacher at your own school, ask them about that. But very important with this, they will need to contact me. You have passed this. Okay, it does not count if you simply email me and say, "Oh, hey, I promise I presented." Okay, so your teacher at your school has to contact me and tell me that you have completed it and they are satisfied with your project. Okay, I would prefer this method. It would help. You'd probably feel more comfortable at your own school. You'd probably feel more comfortable with the teacher that you know, that you've seen before. Okay, but if for some reason that can't work or schedule conflicts, simply contact me and we'll schedule a time for you to present in front of me and an expert panel. Okay. If there, I hope that today this has helped you. I hope that you've seen a little bit about or have learned more about the senior graduation projects through this presentation. If you have further questions or you want to run ideas by me, please email me at chilton@surrey.k12.nc.us. All right. Thanks. Good luck. And I look forward to seeing and hearing more about your graduation projects in the future.